How's it going, everyone? My name is Sackers, and this will be the very first video on my YouTube channel. On this channel, I'll be talking about anime and manga. Today, I'll be talking about the best new gen, and I'll be giving them ratings to see which one comes out on top. First up, we have Demon Slayer. The main character, Tanjiro. He's very kind and consistent, and he's a fresh take on the demon killer character. They're usually all badass and edgelords, but that wasn't the case with Tanjiro. He's sympathetic even towards the villains that he's killing. The story was decent, straightforward enough. They had clear goals and ambitions. Tanjiro wanted to turn his sister back into a human. To do that, he had to gather blood from the demons that are close to Muzan. Very clear. The power system, breathing techniques, I really enjoyed it. The side characters were great. I loved all the Hashira. They were all badass. My favorite were Uzui Tengen and Tokido. Rengoku also stood out to me. Inosuke, Zenitsu, and Tanjiro, they made a great trio, and you had to love every panel that Nezuko was on. The villains weren't really that great. Muzan wanted to conquer the sunlight. He was very disappointing at the end. All that hype, all for nothing. I give Demon Slayer a 6 out of 10. Next up is My Hero Academia. Main character name is Izuku Midoriya. He's kind, smart, and I think he carries the soul of a good shonen main character. I found him a bit annoying at first, I'm not gonna lie, but I think he changed for the better. He wants to become the #1 hero. He's still in high school, so first he has to stop the League of Villains and stop All for One. The side characters are a big part of this show. Todoroki, Bakugo, All Might, Endeavor, Hawks. They make this show amazing. As well as the villains, Dabi, Shigaraki, All for One. This manga would have a higher rating for me, but I found it boring at some points. The school stuff that they do is just not entertaining at all. I had to motivate myself to read through those parts. Usually when there isn't a villain or one of the great side characters on the screen, I just had no motivation to read it at all. Like I said, this manga shines through its side characters and villains. But when this manga does have a great moment, that moment is great. This manga will be one for the books. I give it a 7 out of 10. Next up is Black Clover. Main character name Asta. He carries the soul of your classic shonen main character. Never gonna give up, never gonna give in. He kind of reminds me of Luffy, Naruto, and Natsu in that aspect. He has a few great moments, I'm not gonna lie. I prefer him in the manga over the anime, of course. He wants to become Wizard King. To do that, he has to stand out among the knights, and he has to get stars for a squad. You get those stars by completing your missions. His goal doesn't seem that hard, considering he already brought his squad to second place when they were in the negative last time. Side characters, very entertaining. Black Bulls never disappoint. They always manage to get a laugh out of me. They aren't useless. Side characters all have a use. Noel, Yami, very useful. The villains aren't that memorable. I can't remember them that well. I remember the Dark Triad, Dante, Ivanica, and Zenon. That's about it. Black Clover gets a 7 out of 10 from me. It's going to be one for the books. I forgot to mention that Asta has 0 magical power, and yes, I gave it the same rating as My Hero. They're on the same level to me. Next up is Jujutsu Kaisen, one of my favorite new gens. Main character, Yuji Itadori. He wants to die a meaningful death. Simple, but amazing. The constant target on his back makes it that much better. And emotional. He's kind, strong, and we haven't seen much of it, but we know that he has an interesting backstory. The goal of this story is to collect Sukuna's fingers and to stop cursed spirits. Side characters for this manga are amazing, and I will not be forgetting them anytime soon. Todo, Megumi, Kugisaki, Maki, Nanami, and the GOAT, Gojo. They're all great characters. The villains, they are also great. I hate Mahito with a passion, a burning passion, but I have to admit, he's the perfect rival / villain for Itadori. I can't bring up a good villain for Itadori without bringing up Sukuna. Sukuna is a constant reminder to Yuji that curses are evil. They cannot be trusted. All in all, I'd have to give Jujutsu Kaisen an 8.7 out of 10. It works so well, and it keeps on surprising me. This next arc could make it go above a 9, depending on how well executed it is. Next up is one that is very close to my heart, Tokyo Revengers. The main character, Hanagaki Takemichi, he's a crybaby. He has strong will and a strong resolve. He doesn't become stronger physically like your typical main character, but he does become stronger emotionally. And I am not gonna forget how dirty his room was in that first chapter. I'm not gonna forgive him for that. He's a bum now. That's why I know him as a bum. Takemichi's goal was to prevent the death of a girl he dated in middle school named Hina. He must travel back in the past to prevent actions that will lead up to that. But alas, it won't be that easy. And I wouldn't love the story if it was that easy. Kisaki is a mastermind. He keeps on changing the future no matter what action Takemichi does. The side characters for this story are amazing. They carried the first 70 chapters or so. It's like Takemichi wasn't even there. Takemichi really established himself as the main character during the Black Dragon arc in my eyes. That's when he really showed his resolve and what he would do in the future. The antagonists on Tokyo Revengers are really cool to me. I can remember just about every one of their names, even Kiyomasa. And he played such a small role, but he had such a big impact on Takemichi's character. Taiju was really cool. Kisaki, the only problem I have with him is his motivation. It just wasn't there. I wasn't going for it, and it was just really stupid. All in all, I give Tokyo Revengers an 8.5 out of 10. Keep in mind that anything above a 5 is good. I gave Demon Slayer a 6, but I really love it. I'm a big fan of the anime. It just works way better in anime. That's not to say that the manga is bad, because it isn't. I will be uploading a part 2 to this. It will be about Vinland Saga, Chainsaw Man, Fire Force, and One Punch Man. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. That'll be all from me. Sagar is off.